start just from the half of the presentation, because I thank you very much for inviting me to attend this meeting. It is very important for me to hear this data about the development of the aquaculture production in Egypt and increasing the per capita consumption. It is very important to us to have food security, especially we need high biological value of protein coming from fish. The declaration of the World Food Summit defined food security as existing when all people at all times have physical and economic access to sufficient, safe, and nutritious food to meet their dietary needs and food preference for an active, healthy life. This is very important for us to have, for all the people, this kind of better production or better food. Next, please. Also, the International Organization of Standardization came with the definition of the quality. The quality of any food or of any character is the totality of features and the characteristics of product or service that bear on its ability to satisfy stated or implied needs. This is from the ISO 8402. The quality of fish and fish products relies principally on safe, hygienically produced products. So it is very important to produce fish and good quality of fish at the same time, safe for the consumer all the time. Food safety, next please. Food safety must be an integral part of any food security program. Unfortunately, in many developing countries, food safety and quality program have received very little attention. In fact, in most exporting countries, the resources and the international support have been used to ensure food safety and quality for fish export, while domestic markets have received very little or no attention. That is what we have seen, or we already discovered in Egypt. The domestic production all the time needs to be modified and developed to be more safe. Next, please. How to maintain the safety of the fish and aquaculture products. We have some data about the hazards which could be occur in the production stages. We have some pathogenic bacteria and pathogens. Some of them is Vibrio and some of them Listeria, and we have also contaminating bacteria could be existed, and we have some parasites could be there also, and we have the intoxication bacteria like Clostridium trinium, and we have also Listeria and the histamine, which coming from the histidine as amino acid after heating or keeping the fish under high temperature for a longer time. So this is some of the hazards which should be identified, and we could also create what we call it control measures to either eliminate all these hazards or completely destroy it. Also, next please, this is some outbreaks have been known in different countries, in USA, in New Zealand, in Australia, in Sweden, in Canada. So the outbreaks done all the time and have been recorded, but unfortunately in our countries here in Egypt and other developing countries, we don't really record all these outbreaks, so you don't find data about what really happened from eating fish all over the years. But in other countries like the States and Europe, they are recording and have surveillance for the epidemiological data, can show what happened from every type of foods. and how they can combat all this kind of outbreaks. Good hygiene practices is very important in the handling, manufacturing, and transportation of fish and the fish products. Adequate refrigeration is very important. Yes, I'm just throughout can greatly reduce outbreaks of fish-borne illnesses. Measures that ensure high standards of quality and safety by implication of GMP, good manufacturing practices, will also reduce post-harvest losses. Next, please. Hazard analysis and the critical control points, what we call it HACCP system, is a sufficiently flexible system to be successfully applied at all critical stages, from harvesting of fish to reaching the consumer. For such a system to work successfully, all stakeholders must cooperate, which entails increasing the national capacity for introducing and maintaining HACCP measures. The control authority, should be done by the government, needs to design and implement the system, ensuring that monitoring and corrective measures are put in place. Next, please. Maintain the safety of the fish and aquaculture products in developing countries, although must have national safety system to varying degree of development. The overall picture is rather different. Producers or processors are mostly small-scale enterprises that developed informally and exist in large numbers. Distribution and consumption is largely localized through large volume of fresh food is traded in traditional markets. Food habits largely ensure eating of cooked food. For the next slide, please. Maintain the quality of the fish and aquaculture products who are continued. The recommended storage temperature for the fish and seafood is lower than for red meat. Since fish spoils more readily, consequently fish are regularly stored on melting ice, and for typical spoilage stages are recognized. Trimethylamine is a major component associated with the unacceptable odor of fish spoilage and starts to increase in the tissue after 5 to 6 days storage and under more than 0 centigrade. Degradation of protein produces total volatile acids, what we call it TVA, and the total volatile basis, it is ammonia, which are components used for the chemical detection of fish spoilage. It should be limited and should have high limit or less limit all the time. Sensory organoleptic evaluation of fish flesh is the standard technique for assessment of fitness for human consumption. Standard chemicals analysis can also be used to determine levels of TVA and the TBA in fish. Post-harvest losses. Reducing post-harvest losses requires wiser use of resources, reducing spoilage and discards and converting low-value resources which are available on sustainable basis into products for direct human consumption. Reducing spoilage requires improving fish handling, onboard, processing, preservation, and transportation, all of which are particularly deficient in small-scale fisheries. The need next, please. The need to decrease all forms of waste and to optimize the use of fisheries resources for human food security is embedded in the FAO Code of Conduct and Responsible Fisheries, as well as in the UN Fish Stock Agreement. To reduce spoilage, implement training fish technologists in developing countries to introduce appropriate technologies, especially for small-scale fisheries, using insulated fish containers and training people on their design and construction have enabled many countries to increase fishing trip duration while keeping fish feed for a longer period of time. Many countries have extended the concept of insulated containers to the distribution system. Some use local insulating materials such as coconut fiber in Asia, and we can use rice husks here for building containers transported on the bicycles. To reduce spoilage also, we had to improve handling practices, especially in small-scale fish landing sites, and fish preservation methods such as smoking, drying, and salting, adapt and ameliorate drastically the traditional fish curing method used in many developing countries. For instance, a traditional fish smoking oven from Ghana called shocker was adopted and redesigned to improve fuel efficiency, working conditions of the oven. Economic groupings and international organizations develop regulations, agreements, and guidelines to enable countries and regional groupings to develop fish quality and safety approaches that ensure consumer protection without constituting trade barriers. This can be achieved only by promoting harmonized, transparent, and scientifically based approach. Monitor and control the hygiene status of pollution, bacterial pathogen, toxic algae of coastal water, prevent and reduce microbial growth and activity on fish after catching and during processing, heat stable histamine by good hygienic practices, refrigeration and freezing, prevent post-cooking cross-contamination. It's very important for the householders. Implement hazard-based hygiene system in fish, seafood production, a chain to control Listeria monocytogenes and Clostridium botulinum. Avoid eating unfrozen and uncooked fish which can contain pathogens or parasites. Thank you very much, and I hope everything.
This is our law. I want to start with this because this, inshallah, will be our brand. القنال in Arabic, القنال in English, canal. So I hope that next time everyone sees this anywhere will know what he's looking for. He's looking for good fish in quality and in price, inshallah. Who we are? We are an aquaculture company on an area of 7,500 acres in sediment basins along the Suez Canal. What is sediment basins? Sediment basins is on the banks of Suez Canal, which contains the sand coming out of the canal. So we have the same soil at the canal, we have the same water of the canal, so we have good soil and good water. The company is wholly owned by Suez Canal Authority. That I already said why we have the good soil and good salt water, because we have the same as Suez Canal. Currently we have 4,140 ponds. We have highly skilled and trained manpower. We train them in the Institute of Fishery Resources in Suez Canal University. Our project is an integrated project with all its industrial and service facilities, as we're going to see now. That's where we are. This is this is the canal. It's coming from the Mediterranean up down to the Red Sea. This yellow part is the sedimentation basis of Suez Canal. It's varies from 5 to 7 or 8 kilometers length and depth from 3 to 6 kilometers. This along the canal. We started here. We started in this first one, was our first phase. We took this part, the east part of this basin, because we can't take it all because For the maintenance of the canal, we have to leave something for the canal. So we took a segment like this, parallel to the canal. Our ponds is away from canal about 2 kilometers. We take water, we have the water from canal directly by inlet channel like this, coming back like this parallel to the canal. And the outer channel is going out for water, taking the water out to the canal again, as good as we took it from the canal. And then say how we do it. This is the place where we are. What we are trying to do is we are trying to leading the fish farming industry in Egypt to have a brand in the Egyptian market, locally in the Arab international markets. Up till now, we don't have what we can call fish industry in Egypt. That's why what we're trying to have these mega projects to lead the market to have fish industry in Egypt. What we are trying to do also, we are trying to exploit part of this segmentation basins of Suez Canal. Always we were using these basins only for maintenance for Suez Canal. Now we are trying to make a value added for these basins so we can have a part in the economic development in the area. Producing protein from fish, try to get good prices, cultivating species. We started with sea bream, sea bass, meager, shrimp, eels. Now we are stocking mullets and red tilapia. And in the near future, we are having to have tilapia. This was the second opening of our farm because we have our present twice in our farm. First was by the end of December, the first phase. We had at that time 1,000 ponds. One pond in our farm is 1 feet, 1 acre. This was the next time. This is the ponds. This is the shape. This is the pond. Suez Canal at this side. The water is coming Suez Canal. Channel like this. Getting the water here. In, out from here. This place, we have the outlet back to the canal again. So this is the photo of our ponds. We started digging these ponds on March 2015. We started stocking by November 2015. Stocking. We started at that time sea bream, sea bass only. Then we started stocking meager and shrimp, then eel. Now we are stocking the mullets and red tilapia. Firstly, we got our fries from Greece and Italy because we didn't find sea bream here in Egypt enough for our ponds. That's why we get it from Greece and Italy. The shrimp, first stocking from shrimp, we get it from Saudi Arabia. Then afterwards we get a broodstock from the same shrimp, and we are having it in the hatchery in the Meta for a good guy called Said Omar. So now we have the PLs from his hatchery directly, so we get shrimp from Egypt now, from our broodstock, from our ponds. The sea bass, we get it from here, from Egypt. Why we say we have quality? We have available very good salt water available. We have land resources, which is natural soils coming to the canal, suitable for marine aquaculture, right? Climate. We have the Ministry of Environment have some instruments in our site for their research, not for ours. And it happens that they get the oxygen level in this area is more than any other area. It's 28% of oxygen in the air, at that area, which means that the climate in this area is very, very excellent. We try to choose the fries as to use the best fry. We don't have our fish factory, so we have fish feed for the first quality from one of the two companies in Egypt, Al-Aqua Secreting. We get our fish feed from them now. We have good and well-trained laborers. What we are going to do this year and up to the mid of next year, we're going to have our own hatchery and nursery. And now we're in the executive measures for civil facilities are being implemented now with production of capacity up to 160 million fry, depends on the size we're going to get from the nurseries. Now also, because we are looking for not only the high price species for the market, we are looking also for the tilapia, the normal tilapia. So we are dealing with a specialized professor now, planning for establishing of ponds for intensive tilapia culture under his supervision. Preliminary estimates of the production of the acre of this project is about 300 tons per year, and is expected to start production by the end of this year. A total of 8 complete ponds, this we are going to start with, each of 1,000 meters square. If the expected results will be reached, this project will be expanded from early 2019. And this is to have low price fish in our production. Fish feed factory, why also? All what we need is to reduce the expenses and to get good price for the Egyptian market. We can call ourselves a governmental owned company. So we are not looking for profit. We are looking for good fish in quality and in price for the Egyptian citizen. So this is one of the items we want to reduce production cost, where feed is the highest cost element. Feed production according to the required specifications and fish requirements more accurately. We can control this. We can control the conversion factor by doing this, by exchanging between formulas. We can obtain final product whose final product is the fish, whose production cost is relatively low and therefore its selling price is appropriate. One of the items, ice factory. All of us know that we need lots of ice. This is to allow us to have good ice, environmentally health approved, environmentally approved, to control the types and input of the production of ice using the circulation mechanism, which allows to maintain the highest quality of ice. So we're going to have the highest quality of fish also. In Egypt, we are used to have fresh fish. We don't use to have processed fish or chilled fish. All of us know that the separation of fresh fish is difficult and its shelf life is so short. The chilled or cooled packed fish has longer shelf life. The different living style of the Egyptian women now created a new need for varieties of processed fish and semi-cooked fish, which in turn requires us to introduce this kind of products to the Egyptian market and create added value for our products. To change these habits, the Egyptian consumer, from the demand for fresh fish to the demand for chilled and packaged fish, also the semi-cooked fish, to obtain a broad base of customers. This is why we need this processing plant. Like a few years ago, nobody go and buy frozen poultry, frozen chicken. Now we don't buy live chicken. All of us buy frozen chicken, nearly 90%. That's what we're looking to do in the fish industry. What we have now, while we're sitting now, we have this is ready to sell from our farms. These figures. Of course, approximately, because it's changed every day. We can say that we have around 1,500 tons, totally 750 tons from them is sea bream, 680 is meager, 3 tons is shrimp, 30 tons shrimp, 30 tons sea bass, 10 tons eel. If we compare this to the deficit between production and consumption in Egypt, we can say it's nothing, but it's a start. I'm already finished. Sorry. What we can do in the next few upcoming period, we can have up to 9,000 tons of fish, also from the same, like we have the figures here now. Sea bream is most of them is 40,000, but here we can see that we're going to have 2,000 tons of red tilapia, 1,500 tons of mullet, in the addition of the others. I'll go through this. We spoke about it, about how to make some marketing for this. We are trying, in general, to have the whole species, starting from tilapia up to shrimp and sea bream and sea bass. So we have from the lowest cost species to the highest cost species. So we can have all kinds of fish for the whole market. This is some figures we can. Dr. Mohammed, I don't know if this is not very accurate, but that's what I have it from the Shepherd.
Yes, this is the right values.
We are trying to be a number in this. I'm sorry, it's here it's not right. This 10,000 is not right. What we're looking for to this, to have it, this percentage is 50,000, not 10,000. So I'm sorry, it's 50,000. To have a market share in the production, not a market share, the production share to up to 3% within the next few years. This is how we are going to be a part on covering the gap between the production and what we need. This we're going to have this figure. This figure we're going to have it by now. Actually, we have for the sea bream, for instance, between 5 and 7 tons production per feather. Yes, this is actual numbers. You asked me before about these numbers. Now we have these numbers. I can say it because we have it actually. We are looking for 10 to 12 tons because if we are saying how is 5 to 7 tons, we have one feather has 6,000 cubic meter of water, so we have only 1 kilo per cubic meter, which is very low. So if we're only doubling it to 2, we're going to have 12 tons, inshallah. And this is approved. We have these figures now. 7 tons, we have it now. And for meager, we have more than this. I'm not going to say the figure now because it's very, very, very big figure. I'm finished. I have 2 minutes more. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm ready for any questions. And please, I see that most of the people here don't know anything about our project. We are one of the 2 million projects in Egypt. I invite anyone. You have my contact. You can visit us anytime. You can ask us any question. You can know this is your project. It's not our project. It's the Egyptians' project. So whenever you want to know anything about the project, we are ready for you to visit it and to answer anything. Thank you. I'm sorry.